all you cool cats and kittens. Thank you for having me back tonight.
Nice. She did the catchphrase, everybody.
We're glad to have you back.
Oh,
we
man.
should have a large audience. Everybody's been asking.
Yeah, it literally is. It's nuts. It's like they hear Carol's coming on the show, and they like a pack of tigers around some raw meat. They swarm. They're craziness.
Is that right,
dude? I'm not even joking. We have not. First off, we're on multiple internet radio stations and bringing this to the people. And we have like idiot radios. There's fans on idiot radio going nuts. Not all the little sub channels here that Carol Baskin's coming on the show, and they all go nuts, Billy.
Yes,
they just all go nuts.
Aww.
It's crazy. So congratulations for
our board lights up.
Damn right, the phones light up, everything's lighting up. It's a big deal when Carol Baskins is on the show. All right, so a couple of things, new things going on in the world of Carol Baskin. Let's start first with this scat, the altcoin, the cryptocurrency thing that you have going on, the Big Cat coin. By the way, go to bigcatrescue.org for further details on everything that is Carol Baskin as well as the Big Cats. So, Carol, first thing, since none of us here have any clue what the hell it is, what exactly?
Well, obviously.
What the hell is crypto?
Scat coin, that's poop coin.
Well, I said scat because literally the first thing I saw when the press release went out, I'm like, why would she call it scat coin? And then I'm being told it's not scat coin. But I thought it was funny because it makes it sound like poop.
Yeah, you're showing your ignorance.
I am. So, all right. So tell me what it is, Carol. Fill me in and the listeners.
I'm really excited about Catcoin on Rally.io because it's our first opportunity to really bring all of our Big Cat fans into the whole crypto world. And I'm excited about crypto and have been since like 2018, but it's been hard to get people that don't understand it or don't want to understand it to check it out. And so Rally.io makes it possible for people to buy this crypto coin, but they can do it with a regular credit card, and they don't have to worry about managing a wallet, one of those crypto wallets, which requires like 12 seed phrases that people always lose. I lost my first phrase and lost it for like 3 years. So it's a really easy way to dip your toe in it. And then what we're hoping to do is give our fan base like early access for maybe some exclusive videos or Ask Me Anything sessions or things like that by virtue of them holding the cat coin. So I'm thinking that this is going to be a very big thing as far as like all of the different components of it. This is like the first step in.
So what exactly, because we're all still trying to figure out, besides the whole scat debacle that I screwed up, what exactly is cryptocurrency? Like, because we're trying to sit here and go, I give you money, I get these coins, they're of the same value. It's now like the digital age. So far what we've tried to figure out is like when you get like a science fiction movie and they say, well, that's going to cost you 74 credits. Now, is that like the same kind of stuff? Or what is exactly a cryptocurrency coin?
Well, there's two different things. There's cryptocurrency like Bitcoin,
okay,
which is like real money. And people are trading in that in banks and finances and all of that. And so I've put a little bit of money into cryptocurrency because I really think it is the future. I think that we are printing way too much money in this country and that we are going to see a huge implosion for doing that, and that we're going to need these cryptocurrencies to stabilize our economy. But the cat coin is not money. The cat coin is strictly a creator token or like a community membership for being part of the Big Cat Pride. And so that's why I say it's not a currency, it's a currency.
Ah, currency. I see what she did there. You see what she did? Release the tigers. I see what you did there. All right, so...
You got all those great cat sounds.
Well, here's a little kitty. And he's a big kitty. I like to have all my cats lined up. By the way, I want to say a special. I'm talking to Carol Baskin, correct, who is responsible for the big cats at bigcatrescue.org. I want to say hello to my little cat at home, May May. There you go. That goes to you because I know she's listening. She's a big Carol Baskin fan. And she wanted to listen, and so I wanted to say hi to my cat. I also wanted to bring up all the other stuff going on in the news, because I'm fascinated by this new Joe Exotic story. You and Joe Exotic what the hell, Carol? you and the guy who is in jail right now for trying to kill you, allegedly, you're going to join forces? Is this true?
Well, unfortunately, the news tends to run with the headlines, and they haven't paid attention to the nuances.
Right.
So what I said was that I feel like if Joe really wanted to reduce his sentence, there's two things that he could do that would cause me to want to support him in doing that. One would be if he were to support our federal bill, which bans cub petting and phases out private ownership. And the second thing would be if he were to work with law enforcement to put all of these buddies of his, who I think are as bad or worse than he is, behind bars, then I think he would have shown that he has really changed and he should be entitled to an early release. And he came out and said, okay, well, I'll call your bluff on that, but the bill is garbage and we can't be banning cub petting and we can't phase out private possession. Well, that's the only two things my bill does. So he didn't call my bluff on it. And he hasn't done anything that I know of to help law enforcement with these other people that I think are just as evil and criminal as he is behind bars. So maybe he'll still make his mind up to do those things. And if he did, then I really would be in support of a reduced sentence. You know, the one guy that said that he was the icon for Scarface in Tiger King, he had been sentenced to 100 years behind bars, and he got out in 12 because he turned state's evidence.
Right. Okay. This is what I'm thinking. Tiger King 2. Yeah, I mean, Carol and Joe joined forces to bring down all the other guys that are just running amok in the big cat world. It writes itself. I mean, the whole thing. You guys picking him up from prison. You know what I mean? Like he still has that weird mullet. He's all tatted up, and then you see like a whole montage of him dressing, getting redressed from his prison fatigues into his Joe, exotic costume with the tight pants and the chaps and everything. I mean, come on, this is gold.
Sounds like you would pay to see that.
Oh, absolutely. Release the tigers. Of course I would. That is, it's something that I think is brimming at the surface, and also the subplot of the guy who tried to kill you. You and him working together. That to me, allegedly. I don't want to get sued.
That's a story
allegedly.
in itself.
That's a story in itself. That's a whole episode by itself. You and Joe sit down and have a face-to-face, heart-to-heart. Oh, it's so great. Also, on top of everything else, so now let me understand with this bill that you're doing and everything. Because many people actually have reached out to us because they said they're going to be in the area of Big Cat Rescue and everything. And they wanted to actually pet the cubs. And I said I thought that Carol was against that, so I just wanted to make sure. You don't, condone using the cats as little fluffy, pettable, stuffed animals, right? These are, they're living, breathing things, so you don't want to do that.
No, we have never bred lions or tigers at the sanctuary. We bred some of the more rare cats for about a 3-year period in the 90s. We haven't bred since then. And we have been against cub petting since about 1998, I think, and actually trying to get laws passed so that people cannot pet the cubs. And the reason is, you think about it, it doesn't sound so bad. It's like it's nice to get petted, but what people don't realize is they can only use those cubs for about 16 weeks, and then they discard them or kill them, or they end up dying from the mishandling. And all of those cubs getting into the illegal market is what is causing the smokescreen for all of the illegal activity like poaching, and that's what's causing the extinction of the tiger. So our federal bill stops cub petting, and it phases out private ownership.
Wait. Just I'm trying to wrap my head around this. So after the babies are pet, they pass them around like they're stuffed animals.
Right.
There's a possibility of them being, euthanized?
Mm-hmm. They're not worth...
Not even so much euthanized, but a lot of them just die from the handling. If you can picture, a bunch of 5-year-old kids carrying them around like rag dolls, poking them in the eyes, pulling their whiskers, stepping on them, breaking their bones. And then if they survive that at all, then they end up dumping them into backyards of anybody who will take them because they become a financial liability. They end up pulling their teeth and their claws and selling those for jewelry illegally. They end up in canned hunts where people will say they went on a safari, but they actually shot a cat in a cage. And that's all of that activity is what's creating this smoke screen for the poaching of the tiger in the wild, because it's going to be a lot cheaper to kill a live tiger in the wild with one bullet than to raise it for 5 years until it's full size, because it costs us $10,000 a year to feed one of those guys. So that's why it's putting so much pressure on cats in the wild.
That is fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Like I'm
That's horrible.
Please contact BigCatRescue.org and give whatever you can. Help out for Carol and all the big cats, because that's disturbing. I mean, all funny crap aside, with Joe Exotic and his mullet and all the other crap, that's disturbing.
That's why when they see a man in the jungle and shit, they be like, "Hey, these damn humans, here they come."
Yeah,
with
Jesus.
their bullshit.
I mean, like, I'm not. What do you call that? I'm not opposed to going to a zoo and everything else. I understand that sometimes, some places, the zoo actually treats the animal a little bit better than it would actually in the wild, so to speak. Not every time, but like when you have, like you're using, like the animals are disposable. That's fucking disturbing to me. That's just wrong on so many levels. Ugh.
Yeah, I stopped
and
going to zoos.
Hundreds of them are being bred every year for that purpose, just so people can pay to have their picture made for the cub.
Jesus Christ! Wait till the cat is full grown, and then go out to the jungle, and then go take a picture with it. If you survive, you've earned that picture. But other than that, don't
Absolutely.
wait. When it's a defenseless little cub, a little fur ball that just doesn't know anything, it's like new to the universe, and then you're gonna just gives you the willies. I don't fucking like it at all. We're talking to Carol Baskin, BigCatRescue.org. Of course, you know her from the show Tiger King. Of course, we're going to call her Tiger Queen. She's got her new altcoin that you can check out. It's the Purgency. You can check it out. For more information, there's a link right there on BigCatRescue.org if you need to get further information on that. Another thing I want to bring up, because one of the bad guys, I think the real... Not just Joe Exotic, because he was an ass clown too, but I'm saying the one of the big bad guys from the Netflix hit that was Tiger King was Jeff Lowe. Now I just read a story right before we went to air tonight that Jeff Lowe is claiming that you and your hubby Howard there were spying on his property using like drones or something, and then like when he confronted you. You guys ran, and then there was a scuffle with a neighbor. There was some kind of fist fight with a neighbor or something. Is that true?
We were there filming, and the reason we were filming is because the neighbors had told us that they thought some of the cats were disappearing, and Jeff Lowe is under court order not to let any more of his cats disappear without alerting the court. And so we wanted to be able to prove to the court that these cats are just up and disappearing, and that's why we needed to count them. He did come to the fence as we were riding along the property line. Well, we weren't even near the property line, but we were on the next-door neighbor's property with them on their golf cart, and he started yelling at us from the fence. So we went back up to the house, didn't think much of it, and the people who live next door to him, their son lives the next house over. And their son didn't know that Howie and I were visiting with the neighbors and didn't even know who we were. I guess he didn't see Tiger King, and so he went, to go to work. And when he got to the bottom of the hill, Jeff and Lauren Lowe were there sticking a camera in his face and being obnoxious to him, and they ended up getting into a fist fight. And he's like, I don't even know who the Baskins are. And Jeff was, apparently accusing him of lying to him. And so they did have a fight out over that. But it wasn't us that was fighting with them. We were just gathering information for the courts.
How do you not know who Carol Baskin is, for Christ's sake? Come on. First off, she's wearing flowers in her hair. She's got this sunny disposition. She was on Dancing with the Stars, for Christ's sake. You should know who Carol Baskin is and know who both Baskins are. I can spot Howard from a mile away. He's 7'4", for Christ's sake. The guy's huge. I mean, it's not like he's
6'4".
Well, he's a big dude. He's very lanky, as they say. He's a lanky guy.
Yes.
Anything in I gotta touch this. Hold on. We alluded to it last time with the bisexual stuff. Any good stuff going on in the romantic world there, Carol? You, Howie,
Any film projects?
Any film projects in the works? Yeah, Pussy Queen?
Well, not that kind of film.
Oh, all right. I think Howard would film it. Howard would be like, yeah, I got 2 of them in the bed. Look at this. I don't know. I thought it would be a shot.
How did that motion for the law that you were trying to get through work out?
Are you addressing Carol? That was the most timid way of talking to Carol Baskin.
Oh, I forgot.
Release the tiger. Come on, Billy. Man up. Be a tiger. Come on.
I forgot the bill number. I forgot it.
The bill you were trying to pass in Congress, I believe. How did that work out?
Well, we're still working on it.
Okay.
And it's the Big Cat Public Safety Act. We had passed the House by a 2/3 vote in the last Congress, but it was in December, and so it didn't get over to the Senate in time. So we had to start all over in January. But we already have 165 co-sponsors in the House, and we've launched in the Senate, which is earlier than we've ever launched in a 2-year session before, and we have bipartisan support, which is also a new thing. So I really think that our bill is going to pass this year. And if people are interested in helping with that, they can go to bigcatact.com, and it will give them the opportunity to make a call, which is the most important thing they can do, send an email or a tweet, and all they have to do is put in their address for it to know who they need to contact. They don't even have to know who their member of Congress is. Our system's so smart, it'll do it for you.
There you go. Big Cat Act. BigCatAct.org to check it out, to help her out. All right, so one more thing, just because I know that your time is precious. You have a lot of stuff going on. I do have to ask this question. I'm going to release the tiger one more time, because that tiger that we have sampled here is Valentine. Now, is Valentine now a movie star in the Army of the Dead? See, I did research. Tell me about it.
That was patterned after Sapphire, the white tiger at the sanctuary, and it was such a nice tribute to her because we found out that she had been used as the model for that just days before we ended up losing her.
Aww.
And so it's nice to know that she'll live on as a zombie now.
So she's in the new. She's going to be in the new movie. I believe it's on Netflix. The movie Army of the Dead. It's Zack Snyder's latest flick. Batista's in it.
Okay,
Billy. It's the new Batista movie. So there is a zombie tiger, and that's the biggest part of if you ever watch the trailer of it, because it looks like it comes off as like this normal. We've seen there's been 9 million zombie movies out there, and everyone's like, oh, zombies, people with guns, and they're fighting the zombie, blah, blah. But then there's a zombie tiger that just comes out, and it's like for the first time you're seeing like this big badass. It just changes the game a little bit. Because, I mean, Carol can probably attest to the fact that it's hard enough when they're living and breathing to tame a tiger. But when there's zombie tigers out there, it's definitely something that could be.
As a white tiger?
In the movie, right?
Yeah. She was a white tiger.
She was a white tiger. Well, did you
looked kind of muddy in the movie that I saw.
See, I heard
dirty.
I heard of Kimba the White Lion.
Yeah, that was a ripoff of Lion King, or Lion King was a ripoff of Kimba.
I was going to tell you.
Yeah, I was going to say it was backwards, but yeah. Right. All right, so 2 things. One, because I want to ask Carol Q&A of the day, but I also want to go into the Carol. Have you ever? Because you were talking about the white tigers. Now, as soon as someone says white tigers, automatically I think of Siegfried and Roy, and automatically. Did you guys go after them during the whole, when he was alive and everything? I mean, they were making tigers disappear in a different way and hover over a crowd
right.
and everything. That had to be endangering the tiger. It can't be anything good. I mean, and that's why I think the tiger turned on him and went, I'm done, and bit him and ate half of his face or whatever it was. Like, did you guys go after them?
People that are in that industry want their public to believe that they only train these cats through what they call positive reinforcement. The cat does a trick, the cat gets a treat. If that were the case, they wouldn't have to carry what do they call those, like cattle prods?
Yeah, like cattle prods.
They wouldn't have to carry whips. They wouldn't have to carry sticks. The reason they have to carry those weapons is because that's how the cats are actually trained. It's through beating and shocking and starving. And when they see the keeper, the trainer, carrying those things in their back pocket, which they almost always do, they fear that it's the real thing. And so, of course, nobody's going to take a cattle prod out onto a stage in front of millions of people, but they'll put something in their pocket that looks like it so that the cat thinks that they're going to get shocked if they do something wrong. And so we were always against all of those kinds of events, and especially them, because of them promoting the white tiger so much.
Right.
The only way that you get white tigers is through severe inbreeding, which causes all kinds of birth defects. They usually die young. They're always cross-eyed. Even if they don't look cross-eyed, their vision, that same gene that creates the white coat, causes the optic nerve to be wired to the wrong side of the brain. And so it's just such a cruel, cruel industry that we have spoken out about it from the very beginning. And we actually had so much of an impact that the zoos stopped breeding white tigers once we made it clear how that was happening.
So when was it Roy? Right? Didn't Roy get his face eaten? Who was the one that got?
He was the one that was attacked by Montecore, and then just recently Siegfried died.
Well, yeah, but Siegfried just died of being old, I think. Roy was the one that had the puncture wound in the throat.
Yeah.
So when he died, did you go good for you? Like, you deserved it. Like, was there a part of you that was like, you shouldn't have been screwing around with the cats? Like, because it literally, it's like tempting fate. You're playing with fire, and you're pissing off what was it, like a 500-pound beast. Like, it literally was bound to happen eventually, right?
Flirting with disaster.
It was, and I think that was the best thing that came of that, was the fact that everybody thought of Siegfried and Roy as being the best tiger tamers in the world. And if they could have that kind of an accident, then what does that say about your neighbor next door that thinks he's going to train a tiger? It's going to end badly for everybody eventually.
Remember the guy in the Bronx, or was it the Bronx or Brooklyn, Joe? They had the tiger in
Harlem.
Oh, it was in Harlem.
Yeah.
They had a tiger in like an apartment.
In the projects.
Yeah, in the projects. It was in the house.
I know the projects is rough, but damn. You know. Yeah, and then they tried to...
imagine the people that lived below them. The reason they knew that the cat was in there was because it was peeing on the floor so much it started leaking through to the apartment below.
Right.
Pee-pees.
This guy had an alligator in there, too.
You can't take these things for a walk.
Yeah.
They said when they tried to euthanize, or not euthanize, when they tried to put the tiger to sleep, they said, boy, he hit the wall of the room he was in so hard the building shook.
Of course, because
I believe it.
Carol, what's the biggest a tiger can get? Like, what's the weight on a tiger?
The biggest tigers we ever had, we had two that were right around 750 pounds each.
Nice.
But ligers can be over 1,000 pounds, which is a cross between a lion and a tiger.
Yeah.
They got a guy that lived next door to me that weighed that much.
Yeah, but he can't move like a cat.
No. The only cat that guy knows is Kit Kats.
Yeah.
You fat tub of shit. On that note, I was going to ask you the Q&A today because we're just asking, what's the stupidest injury you have? But something tells me around a bunch of, giant tigers. I mean, there might be, did you ever, slip in tiger poop or something? What's the weirdest injury you ever had?
Worst injury, actually, that I ever got was two bobcats were fighting in a cage, and I could not break it up from outside the cage. And so I just got mad. I was feeding the cats. I threw down my buckets. I went to charge into the cage. And as I went charging into the cage, there was a piece of wire that was sticking out, and it impaled my leg, and it just stopped me dead in my tracks because I could not move, and it just ripped a gash in me. And the cats both stopped fighting to look at me like, oh, my God, she's going to die.
It started off like one of those old-timey jokes. There's these two bobcats, right? And they're fighting in a cage. And then she's impaled by the end of it. Oh, that's not good.
It's kind of funny because they stop fighting and look at her.
The cats, they just slow down, slapping each other, and look over at Carol, who's impaled on a wall. Oh, that's fucked up. I think she's hurt. What do you think, Phil? We should stop fighting for a second. Yeah.
Does this mean we won't get dinner tomorrow?
Yeah, she's the one that brings us steak.
Yeah.
I like her. I don't want to, screw this up. Carol Baskin can be, reached at bigcatrescue.org. She's doing God's work. She's helping out the tigers. She's all the big cats. That's what she does. And even those 2 bobcats, why the hell? They're still hanging around. Whatever. You just go, talk to her. Get the coins. Get the currency. Get all that stuff. And BigCatRescue.org. Carol, thanks for being on the show, Carol.
Thank you so much. You guys are so much fun. Cool cats.
And look, anytime you want to come back, Carol, you're welcome.
Anytime.
Thank you.
All right, baby.
All right.
Carol Baskins.
Standing O.
Standing O. And he's sitting. That means he's hard. We got to take a break, Billy. Is that what we have to do?
Yeah, we should do that.
Is that what you're telling me? Do your own subtle